All righty, we're in the kitchen with Chef Mark Conway from Kitchen Inc. Mark, welcome back to the Hampton Roads Show. Let's get this right out of the way right now. Red or white?
I'm a white man.
He's a white man, but you also work with both because you like to experiment.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what's so neat about your cooking style. You like to mix things up. What are you cooking for us today?
All right, what I'm working on is a sweet tea chicken with a kind of sweet and savory black bean medley.
Sounds delicious.
It's something a little fun, kind of a take on the southern chicken food. Instead of being all fried, we can actually braise it in some good sweet tea. So when you have your sweet tea left over, just go ahead and put your chicken in it.
One thing about Mark, he loves to experiment, and his food is always delicious. We're going to talk Kitchen Inc. in a few minutes, and we'll get started then, too. Glad you're here, Mark.
Thank you.
We're back now with Chef Mark Conway from Kitchen Inc. He's making sweet tea chicken with sweet and spicy black beans for us this morning. Mark, welcome back to the Hampton Roads Show.
Thank you.
So what's the trick to this dish, and why'd you select it?
Well, it's getting cold outside. We're talking about the winter party, so we wanted to go something a little homey without going fried.
Right.
So everybody loves sweet tea, especially if you come from the South. I was born in Florida. We love the sweet tea. So it gave it an ability to take something that bland like just a chicken breast and infuse flavor and moisture into it. Because the chicken, while it cooks in this sweet tea, will absorb that moisture, absorb the herbs from the tea. Then we add in some green peppercorn and some cumin seed and some salt.
Right.
Hit it with a little more tea. You throw it in the oven. And the nice thing about this, you could do this with an entire pack of chicken at the beginning of the week. Store it in the fridge, pull it out and make fajitas out of it, make chicken pizza out of it, make pulled chicken sandwiches. You could do anything you wanted to with it. And then it blends so nicely with a black bean medley, so it's going to be a nice, healthier dish.
And that's really important to you. And you were just telling me a few minutes ago that you lost 60 pounds?
I did.
Just like that, by changing your eating habits.
6 months, I changed my eating habits, learned about what food is and how it works in the body, got onto just a regular exercise program, and I've never looked back. I didn't have to buy special diet foods or anything like that. It's just knowing what foods are good for you.
And you also said that everything in moderation, because you're starting your medley off with a little bit of bacon, and it made me question whether or not the bacon fat was good, but you said just a little bit,
Just in moderation. It's just like if you're going to use butter, or you're going to use an olive oil, or you're going to use salt. Everything's in moderation based on what all you're putting in it. You don't want to use half a pound of butter for one pepper.
Right.
But if you're going to use butter, I'd rather, use something like that. I'd rather use something natural like a little bacon fat or a little real butter, because you start getting into the margarines, there's all those reports out there that margarine's about a molecule off from plastic.
Wow. That's not good.
No.
Okay, so it looks like the chicken has been soaking. Is it ready to be cooked?
Yeah. We're going to put it right in the oven.
Okay.
And get that going. And really, and the nice thing about that, it's one of those things you can throw in the oven and you're done. You just leave it.
Right. And what are you going to prep the black bean now, or what are you going
Right. We're going to start prepping the black beans, so we're going to chop up all the vegetables. We got the bacon fat rendered down in there, and now we're going to put all of our vegetables in there. And just a nice dice. You want them a little rough so that you can actually get a mouthfeel and a good texture from them. And we'll cook those through, and we'll add them in steps. And we've got onions, we've got some grape tomatoes, we've got red and green bell pepper, a couple jalapenos, yellow and red onions. We're going to put a little orange juice in there to zing it up a little bit.
Right.
And then dice up apples for a nice crunch.
Which, that's what I like about your food, that you really like to experiment and you really like to use the sweet and sours.
Right.
Experimenting is really important to you, Mark, right?
Absolutely. It's one of those ways you can get kids back involved in food. You can get the family back around the table, because will your children eat an apple? Of course.
Yeah.
Will they eat an orange? Of course. Well, when you bring them into the kitchen and say, how about we make dinner tonight? Why don't we grab some apples and let's try these tomatoes here and some chicken? Those are familiar things, and now you can put them together and they can help cook.
And this is sort of the essence of Kitchen Inc., right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about Kitchen Inc.
Kitchen Inc. is a venture we started a few years ago, and it's kind of grown exponentially from that. And it was all about inspiring people to cook again. Get back in the kitchen, get away from fast food, live a healthier lifestyle. We have a huge problem with obesity in this country. And this is all tips and helpful things, and a lot of just showing how food can be fun. We're going to be at the Samoa Soiree, the next Girl Scout event, February 8th from 6 to 10. It's at the Half Moon Event Center down there in Norfolk. And we're going to take Girl Scout cookies and turn them into dishes.
And if anybody wants to find out more about Kitchen Inc., where can they find it?
They can find us on Facebook at Kitchen Inc. Food.
Okay, so this is a good time to stop. When we come back, what are we going to do?
We're going to finish our vegetables, get those all in, get the black beans in, and get towards plating.
Introduce the chicken. All right, Mark Conway from Kitchen Inc. Good job, Mark.
Thank you.
All righty, we're back now in the kitchen with Chef Mark Conway from Kitchen Inc. He's wrapping up his sweet tea chicken with sweet and spicy black beans for us this morning. And if you can, you can learn a lot by watching a chef in action. What I've learned about Mark is he does a lot with a little, and not only that, but you've taken just these simple ingredients and you've made it a masterful, wonderful-looking dish.
And that's the point, and that's what I really want to try to get across with Kitchen Inc. You don't need professional chef tools. You don't have to have a culinary degree to put something together that's flavorful and vibrant and healthy.
And your black bean medley, tell everybody about it, what you did, and how it turned out.
Sure. We started off by rendering the bacon to get some fat in the pan. Then we sauteed down our red and yellow onions, our red and green bell pepper. We put in a little bit of a diced jalapeno. We put in some grape tomatoes. And for me, the star is the apples. We diced up some apples, and then we hit it with some fresh squeezed orange juice. And now you've got very bright, everything's natural that you're putting in there. You're not adding anything that was chemically made.
Like you said, you didn't use any oil, no margarine, anything like that. No
Just
butter.
our little bit of a fat from the bacon.
Okay.
And then over here is where you've got your sweet tea chicken. And the nice thing about the sweet tea chicken is that, again, you're not cooking it in fat. You're not cooking it in anything that's not, readily available at your home. You don't have to buy anything special. And it absorbs the sugars and the tea and puts it right in the chicken. You can see it gives it a little bit of color, but it will keep that chicken moist all the way through.
And it didn't take very long to cook either.
No, and that's the nice thing about it. When you put this in the oven in that sweet tea really pulls that heat and keeps that heat circulated all the way around the chicken. And even if you cut it thin like I did here to make it cook a little quicker, it doesn't dry out.
Okay, so you cut it thin and you put some in the pan with the black bean medley.
Right. We hit it in the pan with a little bit, and we're just going to take just a little bit of this. This is a reduction that I made that is literally made simply from reducing down oranges, brown sugar, water, and jalapenos, and that's it.
Now, you said a little. You did add just a little, not much.
It's very potent. That started in a pot, probably a 4-quart sauce pot.
Right.
And it reduces all the way down to just that.
Okay, so we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here.
Yep.
Time to plate it up, show me what you got. And you also have a little surprise over here with more bacon.
We do. We have a little surprise to finish it off with. So you just get your nice medley at the bottom. Then make sure you get some of your chicken in there. Because, of course, there's your protein in addition to the beans. So you've got a double dose of protein. And then for fun, because we've got to have something a little fun, a little different. What this is here is candied bacon.
Candied bacon. Everybody just went, yeah, that's fun.
A little bit of candied bacon gives you that savoriness of the bacon with a little bit of brown sugar. And you've got, you can plate that up on a big bowl at home and a big plate. You could put all of this into a wrap and take it on the go. It's a versatile, flexible dish. And now you have leftovers to go into the next day.
Speaking of which, you said something about a wrap.
We do. We have a little bit of a treat here.
Okay.
Little quesadilla, cheese quesadilla. You can just throw in the oven and let that go while everything's finishing.
Right.
And now you've got a cheese quesadilla to dip everything in.
Right. And you mentioned that candy bacon. Now, what was the trick to that?
The trick to candy bacon is it's a really nice way to cook bacon. I do it in the oven on a cookie sheet with one of your little cookie cooling racks. Layer bacon right across the top. Sprinkle a little brown sugar on there. I like to use a little chili powder and a little crushed black pepper. Throw it in the oven at about 400 degrees. 12 to 15 minutes, you've got candy bacon.
All right, the 6th Annual Girl Scouts Samoa Soiree. When is that and what's that all about?
That is February the 8th. It is the Girl Scouts' #1 charity event they do for themselves here in the area. They bring in 12 to 15 of the best chefs in the area, and we each get to select a cookie that we want to use to turn either into an entree or a dessert. So when you go to an event like this, you'll be blown away by the creations that get made by these guys.
Sounds amazing. It is February 8th from 6 to 10 at the Half Moon Celebration Center in Norfolk. Tickets and information go to gsccc.org. For more information about Mark Conway and Kitchen Inc., find him on facebook.com/Kitchen Inc. Food.
You got it.
Mark, this is outstanding. Can't wait to try it. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.